One during the BMV driving test, an examiner observes that a candidate checks mirrors and blind spots before changing lanes. This demonstrates which adult learning principle? A. Reflective observation and applied learning. B. Passive memorization of test rules. C. Auditory feedback retention. D. Visual pattern reinforcement. 2. A driving instructor designs lessons around common test errors from previous candidates. This reflects which evaluation method? A. Data-informed formative assessment. B. Summative observation. C. Static curriculum design. Isolated learner analysis. 3. When developing curriculum for BMV driver education, the instructor ensures content aligns with traffic laws and safe driving behaviors. This demonstrates A. Regulatory compliance-based curriculum development. B. Instructor preference over legal standards. C. Theoretical-only instruction. D. Rote memorization approach. 4. A mentor encourages student drivers to verbalize their decision-making while performing parking maneuvers. This method promotes A. Metacognitive learning and communication awareness. B. Compliance by memorization. C. Instructor-led control. D. Passive performance observation. 5. The BMV's requirement for signal use at least 100 feet before a turn reinforces A. Behavioral consistency and safety regulation adherence. B. Optional interpretation of road rules. C. Memorization without application. D. Reaction-based learning. 6. During road testing, evaluating mirror checks and head turns before lane changes represents A. Observable behavior assessment. B. Theoretical driver evaluation. C. Multiple choice test validation. D. Post-test documentation review. 7. In a driving education course, learners participate in simulated hazard perception exercises. This aligns with which adult learning theory? A. Experiential learning through simulation. B. Cognitive rote learning. C. Sensory deprivation training. D. Passive instruction. 8. Mentoring a nervous adult driver through guided repetition and feedback supports. A. Confidence building through structured mentoring. B. Test anxiety suppression without learning. C. Authority dependency. D. Punitive feedback loops. 9. Curriculum developers ensure that traffic sign instruction includes real-world photo examples. This represents A. Contextualized, learner-relevant curriculum design. B. Text-based instructional bias. C. Assessment-only training. D. Hypothetical knowledge delivery. 10. When a BMV instructor adjusts lesson pace based on individual learner progress, this reflects A. Differentiated instruction in adult education. B. Standardized instruction pacing. C. Fixed curriculum adherence. D. Summative teaching approach. 11. Evaluating driver performance across multiple categories such as signaling, lane discipline, and awareness ensures A. Comprehensive competency-based assessment. Unstructured evaluation. C. Redundant grading systems. Quantitative bias. 12. The BMV's scoring method that deducts points for rolling stops reinforces A. Accountability and behavioral correction. B. Memorization of signs only. C. Examiner discretion over rule consistency. D. Risk tolerance education. 13. A driving mentor encourages a learner to analyze mistakes post-session. This exemplifies A. Reflective feedback integration. B. Immediate punitive correction. Superficial praise. Passive review. 14. When designing a test preparation course, instructors align objectives with state-mandated competencies. This demonstrates A. Standards-based curriculum alignment. B. Teacher-centered instruction. C. Improvised evaluation metrics. D. Isolated skill training. 15. Clear, calm examiner instructions during the road test illustrate effective A. Professional communication under evaluative conditions. B. Emotional neutrality suppression. Procedural distance. D. Authority assertion. 16. Requiring test takers to obey posted speed limits demonstrates A. Application of legal compliance in performance evaluation. B. Cognitive memory recall only. Situational ethics. D. Instructor discretion. 17. Adult drivers learning to manage multi-lane merges benefit most from A. Scaffolded practice with guided feedback. B. Theoretical highway diagrams. C. Unstructured repetition. D. Written tests only. 18. Using dashboard cameras for post-test evaluations supports A. Evidence-based assessment and feedback accuracy. B. Surveillance control. C. Instructor grading shortcuts. D. Data overload. 19. In adult learning for road tests, self-paced modules on driving theory emphasize A. Learner autonomy and self-regulation. B. Instructor dependency. C. Group uniformity. D. Mandatory memorization. 20. The mentor's use of calm correction rather than criticism supports A. Positive reinforcement and confidence building. B. Behavior suppression. Passive silence. Evaluator dominance. 21. Incorporating community traffic patterns in instructional materials helps learners A. Transfer knowledge to local real-world contexts. B. Generalize only textbook rules. C. Avoid adapting to real environments. D. Focus solely on test routes. 22. The use of scenario-based driving questions in the written test supports A. Critical thinking and applied decision-making. B. Rote recall assessment. Visual memorization. D. Theoretical detachment. 23. The BMV examiner's checklist ensures that A. Evaluation remains objective and standardized. B. Subjective interpretation dominates scoring. C. Each examiner applies unique standards. D. Criteria vary by candidate preference. 24. When learners set personal driving goals before taking lessons, it enhances A. Motivation and learner engagement. B. Instructor control. C. Rigid test dependency. D. Passive observation. 25. The BMV's focus on pre-drive inspection training ensures drivers A. Develop procedural awareness and accountability. B. Ignore vehicle safety conditions. C. Depend entirely on instructors. D. Skip documentation steps. 26. Role-playing as examiner and driver in practice sessions fosters A. Empathy and communication skill development. Passive compliance. C. Hierarchical authority imitation. Disengaged repetition. 27. Providing immediate correction after a failed maneuver supports A. Real-time learning reinforcement. B. Long-term suppression of confidence. C. Memorization of errors. Feedback delay. 28. Adult learners prefer to understand why traffic laws exist. Instructors meeting this need apply. A. Relevance and rationale in adult education. B. Punitive rule enforcement. C. Simplified memorization. D. Data withholding. 29. When evaluating reaction time during hazard tests, examiners measure A. Cognitive processing and behavioral readiness. B. Theoretical understanding. C. Post-test reflection. D. Emotional expression. A structured review session after test failure encourages A. Growth mindset and resilience development. Self-criticism. C. Test abandonment. D. Repetition without feedback. 31. When designing learning outcomes for BMV programs, they should be A. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART. B. Broad and abstract. C. Emotionally driven, ambiguously stated. 32. The BMV's written test includes laws on impaired driving to reinforce safety ethics and regulatory compliance. B. Encourage risk-taking experimentation. C. Simplify memorization. Focus on speed control. 33. A learner practicing lane positioning in variable traffic applies. A. Adaptive learning and situational judgment. B. Theoretical rule memorization. C. Predictive learning theory. D. Instructor mimicry. 34. The instructor's role in evaluating both knowledge and skill performance reflects A. Holistic learner evaluation. B. Subjective feedback control. Summative bias. Task-only measurement. 35. A mentoring session that begins with reviewing the learner's self-assessment demonstrates A. Collaborative reflection and growth accountability. B. Mentor authority emphasis. C. Performance punishment. Checklist-only focus. 36. When instructors reinforce state-specific driving laws, they uphold A. Jurisdictional regulatory compliance. B. Instructor independence. C. Curriculum flexibility. D. Simplified law generalization. 37. A learner-centered driving curriculum promotes A. Autonomy, reflection, and confidence in learning outcomes. B. Instructor dominance. C. Passive lecture absorption. D. Mandatory rote practice. 38. Using learner logs to track performance over multiple sessions demonstrates A. Evidence-based evaluation and progress tracking. B. Informal coaching. C. Examiner subjectivity. D. Unrecorded practice. 39. When an examiner provides structured verbal feedback immediately after testing, it enhances A. Retention and understanding through timely communication. B. Confusion due to overload. C. Delay in learning transfer. D. Memorization error. The ultimate goal of the BMV driving test is to A. Verify that the driver demonstrates safe, ethical, and lawful driving behavior in real conditions. Evaluate test-taking memory. C. Enforce instructor preference. D. Limit driver participation.